One of the scariest guys in the world right now is this guy, Artur Beterbiev. And he's the light heavyweight champion, and nobody wants to fight him. He's 19-0 with 19 knockouts.
I mean, he's just doing an interview right now. There's no marks on his face. It just shows, I mean, this guy's an animal.
Because I was holding it on my head, and he was beating on my hand.
And that's why you got the bruise there as well.
This is why I felt like my arm, my hand came inside of my head, you know, from the...
People who have fought Artur Beterbiev know why he is so feared. His power is out of this world, leaving opponents beaten and broken. A very good light heavyweight boxer named Dmitry Bivol talked about training with better boxers. BV, showing just how brutal his punches are. Bivol remembered that while trying to protect his head, Beterbievi's punches made his thumb swell up. He said the force was so strong that it felt like his hand was being driven into his own skull. This kind of raw power is what makes Beterbiev so scary for his opponents. They don't just worry about losing to him, they also worry about how his punches will hurt them physically. This is why many fighters are afraid to step into the ring with him. Beterbiev isn't just strong, he's also a pain to fight.
Very strong punches, right hand, even through my left. I have, you see my thumb is swollen because I was holding it on my head, and he was beating on my hand.
And that's why you got the bruise there as well.
This is why I felt like my arm, my hand came inside of my head, you know, from the power.
Joe Rogan explains why fighters don't want to go up against Beterbiev. He says that Beterbiev has been unstoppable and has won all of his fights by dominating. Rogan says that no one has been able to beat him in the ring. He also talks about Beterbiev's looks, mentioning his thick beard, which is popular among Muslim fighters. When put together with his scary fighting style, this makes him look even scarier. In his interview, Rogan says that BBV is not only strong, but also a relentless force that beats opponents. Fighters are scared to fight him just because of his name.
One of the scariest guys in the world right now is this guy, Artur Beterbiev. And he's the light heavyweight champion, and nobody wants to fight him. He's 19-0 with 19 knockouts. No one survives. And he's got this seek and destroy style that's absolutely terrifying. He just comes at guys and never backs up, and he looks like a fucking terrifying human. He's built like a tank with that lower beard that Muslims have. You know, he's just a monster, man.
Amir Khan was in awe after witnessing Artur Beterbiev's performance. Calling him an absolute beast in the ring, speaking to fans after the fight, KH admitted that he initially believed Dmitry Bivol had the skill and game plan to win. However, after watching Beterbiev in action, his entire perspective changed. Emphasized that this was the first time he had truly watched Beterbiev fight, and the experience left him stunned. Khan praised Beterbiev's near-flawless performance, describing him as punched perfect. Throughout the match, he highlighted Beterbiev incredible ability to land devastating shots while maintaining a strong defensive posture. Unlike most fighters who take damage in high-level battles, Beterbiev came out of the fight virtually unmarked. In contrast, Bivol's face showed clear signs of damage, proving just how powerful Beterbiev's punches were. One of the most striking aspects of Beterbiev's style, KH, said that his balance of power and accuracy showed that he wasn't just a careless fighter. He was also methodical, damaging, and well-planned. His punches weren't wild swings, they were well-placed. Technical and incredibly effective, Khan was most impressed by Beterbiev's ability to use both hands to create huge amounts of power, which made him a steady threat in every fight.
First time going.
Pro boxing fans, Amir Khan, just give me your thoughts, man. Artur Beterbiev becoming the undisputed champion. Give me your thoughts, bro.
Amazing fight, man. Honestly, I have to say that both fighters fought out their skin. Honestly, big shots was landing, big shots were getting defended. I mean, but one thing I can say, it's the first time I saw Artur fight Beterbiev. What a beast he is. I mean, look, I thought Bivol was going to go into this fight and win this fight, but after watching this fight and watching him fight how he fought, what a beast he is. Honestly, like, there's no one beating him. The guy was punch perfect, great defense, very strong, hits hard with both hands, and you can see how marked up Bivol was. I mean, look at Artur now. I mean, he's just doing an interview right now. There's no marks on his face. It just shows me this guy's an animal.
Beyond his offensive skills, Khan also praised Beterbiev's defensive capabilities. Many fans link Beterbiev with sheer knockout power, but Khan pointed out that his defense is equally impressive. His ability to absorb pressure without taking much. Visible damage proves his skill in avoiding clean shots. This durability and resilience make him even more dangerous, because opponents can't depend on wearing him down. By the end of his analysis, Khan was convinced that Beterbiev is nearly unbeatable. At 175 pounds, he stressed that after watching this fight, he couldn't see anyone posing a legitimate threat to him in the division. His combination of power skill and endurance makes him a nightmare for any challenger for Khan. This fight was a revelation he in expecting one outcome, but left with a newfound respect for Beterbiev's dominance. He called him a complete fighter, someone who has the potential to reign supreme for years to come. Beterbiev is a rare force in boxing, a unified light, heavyweight champion with an unmatched level of power. He leaves opponents and sparring partners in awe. His ability to break down fighters with sheer force is something that people inside the sport talk about constantly. His sparring partners give. Some of the most shocking insights into his power trainer John Scully has spoken with many of them, and their comments are jaw-dropping. Lionel Thompson, a skilled fighter himself, once said that sparring with Beterbiev was worse than getting hit. By a car, that's not an exaggeration. It's the reality of what it feels like to take punches from him. Even in training Better, has to be careful while preparing for his fight against Marcus Brown. They focused heavily on his left hook to the body on the MS. He was cracking with full power, but in sparring, he held back when Scully told him to punch harder. BBF simply answered, "If I do that, everybody goes home." That's how dangerous his punches are. If he went all out, there wouldn't be anyone left to train with his power. Isn't just about brute force, it's precise, controlled, and overwhelming. That's why fighters respect and fear him at the same time.
We're here with Artur Beterbiev trainer John Scully. Man, tell me...
Assistant trainer,
sorry. I see you holding the pad, so you're getting the hard work on the hands, I see. Man, what's talk about his power? Obviously 17-0, 17 knockouts. I want to say, at least from my recollection, I don't know another unified light heavyweight champion who's been undefeated and had 100% knockout ratio.
Right, yeah, I don't remember any. I always tell people, whenever they ask me about his power, I always tell them this. I talk to the sparring partners, because I drive them to the gym and take them back. And they all just, the descriptions they give me. One guy, well, I'll tell you what, Lonnie, they call him Lonnie B, Lionel Thompson. He will tell you himself. He said he got hit by a car a few years ago. He said sparring with Arthur was worse than getting hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
So once I heard that, I said, okay, now I see why everybody's, talking like they do.
Mickey Bay thinks Beterbiev is the best fighter at 175 lbs. If he had to bet, he would pick Beterbiev over anyone in the division, while he acknowledges the...
Did you see Artur Beterbiev, who is fighting Dmitry Bivol?
Yes.
He did a hammer workout on a tire where he hit a tire for an hour.
He did? For an hour?
An hour.
What?
He hit a tire for an hour with a sledgehammer.
Dagestanis are made of different fucking...
He's Chechenian.
Is he Chechenian?
But same shit.
Mountain people.
Hamzat Chimaev, savage people.
Yeah.
And he's one of the scariest boxers of all time. The only fight that he had as a professional that went the distance is Bivol.
I know.
The only fight.
And did you see when Bivol would have his hands up?
He was 19-0 with 19 knockouts.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
When you have your hands up with him, he'll still concuss you.
Yeah.
He hits that hard. Chop. Just basic too, like ones and twos, maybe a hook once in a while.
There's a great video where this boxer who was, a world-class boxer, who's a professional, got brought in to box Beterbiev. And his coach said to him, just do your best. He's like, do my best? But what the fuck are you talking? I'm gonna fuck this dude up. And he goes, and he hit me the first time he hit me. It was like nothing I'd ever experienced in my life. Like it was almost like my body left me, and I was like standing there.
That's your job, dude.
Beterbiev is hitting people too like this.
Yeah.
It's all short.
Yeah.
Everything is short, and it's just
But he'll hit your
thunderous
arms.
power.
But they'll hit your arms.
Oh yeah.
He'll break your arms down, and then by
100%.
round 5, enjoy that shit.
Canelo does a lot of that. He does a lot of that. He smashes guys' arms.
I think
When
the best
guys
boxer-
shell up with him.
Yeah.
You don't want that guy punching your arms. Well, I've always said that about look at his workouts with his wrists and fists.
Yeah, it's
And this is his warm up. Beterbiev is one of the craziest specimens because he's almost 40 years old too.
Yeah.
So he had this
at that
endurance
shit.
fight with Bivol. So it's 12 rounds of super high pace,
Yep.
very endurance heavy, and he was the one that was dominating at the last rounds.
correct.